Oliver. Hey buddy. To be honest, I can't remember the last video what the subject matter was. So I'm just going to go off of a whim where I think it ended. And I might overlap some. But one of the things, I graduated high school, spent about a year at Calhoun Community College. Like I said, I made some bad decisions. I actually started smoking when I was 16 or 17, right after I finished playing football my senior year. Just trying to fit in with the crowd. Don't do that. Don't fit into the crowd. Most time when you fit into the crowd, that crowd's heading down the wrong road. Find out where Jesus wants you to go. Find the road that Jesus has planned out for you. And I promise you, you follow that road, you'll experience more than you could ever imagine. So anyway, let's back up a little bit. Graduated high school, went to Calhoun, got bored. Honestly, got bored. And so I was like, what can I do? And then me and your grandmother, we were not married yet, but so we were trying to date. Actually, I think she had, by this time, about a year after Calhoun, or whenever she graduated. No, let me back up. What I think happened is about a year after being at Calhoun, I did get bored. She was still at home. So I wanted something different. So what could be more different than living in Athens, Alabama, than just joining the Navy out of the blue? So that's what I did. I actually went down to the recruiters, talked to them, took a test. They told me a bunch of stuff that I wanted to hear, probably not what was the truth. The recruiters are not in for your best interest, that's FYI. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. Not saying that it's not bad to be in the military. I loved my military time, 6 years in the active duty. But they're going to tell you what you want to hear. All right, with that being said, I went home that day and I told my dad, your great grandfather, said, hey, I'm joining the military, I'm joining the Navy. He didn't have a lot to say about that. To be honest, he didn't have a whole lot to say about it. I'm not sure what his thoughts were. But set a date that I was going to leave. I drove down to the recruiter station. When I set that date, I called my dad and said, hey, I'm leaving. The car's at the recruiter station in Decatur. You can go get it. It was my car I was driving at that time. Sell it, do whatever you want to with it. Bus ride to MEP station in Nashville. I swore to uphold and to defend the U.S. Constitution. And I might post that with this. I'm not sure what I swore to. Same thing that the U.S. Senate swears to. A little bit different wordage, but it is basically the same. And then went off to boot camp. Now, let me pause right there. One of the things that was good about boot camp. Boot camp broke me, reset me, rebuilt me, and brought me back better. Jesus has a way of doing that. Jesus has a way of breaking us, tearing us down a little bit, resetting, and rebuilding better. That's what I like about the Christian faith. I like about following Jesus. That's what he's all about. So, with that being said, after boot camp, came back, probably best mentally, physically that I'd ever been, not necessarily spiritually. but went on. Went to Norfolk, Virginia. Set out. Lucky me. My boat was leaving in a few weeks to go, or my ship was leaving in a few weeks to go to a Unitas cruise. What that is, basically, it was 6 months underway, touring all the Atlantic islands, like the Virgin Islands, Barbados, Martinique, Cuba. We pulled into Cuba. We pulled into just all those islands down there. Then we toured South America, went down the east coast of South America, made port of calls all there. What I mean by port of calls, we actually pulled in. We actually got to go ashore to the major cities: Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro. Went all the way down, actually pulled into Uruguay, Buenos Aires. Went all the way down to through the Straits of Magellan. Went through the Straits of Magellan. Look that up. You're going to find that that's a very interesting passage through the Horn of South America. I got stories about all that. Went up the west coast. Come through, made port of calls in Chile, Concepcion. Went all the way up, pulled into Peru. Went all the way up, went through the lock through the Panama Canal, which is called, it's a passing through the ditch. And you might see that plaque on the wall one day. I got 2 plaques, one from crossing the equator and one going through the Panama Canal, which was awesome. Did that, come home, and then shortly after that, me and your grandmother got married. That's a different story. I'll tell you about that in another video. So Oliver, I'll tell you all this to say, man, don't be open-minded to where God's leading you. He'll have you on a journey. He might have to tear you down. He might have to do a reset in your life. But that's okay, because what Jesus is going to do, he's going to rebuild you better. You're going to come back and you're going to start that journey again with him. And believe me, I've done it. It's called repenting. It's just called having a reset in your life. I'm in a reset right now, to be honest. Re-examining myself, as Paul tells us to do. And I'm re-examining spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. And I want to tear it down, and I want Jesus to bring it back better. So, just a thought. Oliver, I love you, buddy, and any of my grandchildren that watch this. Just know your grandfather, your grandpa, fun paw, whatever they want to call me. Just know that I'm praying for you. And know that I love you. But here's the most important part. Don't forget this. God loves you even more. That is the most important news. The most important thing that I can share with you. All right, listen. Know that I'm praying for you. You have a great day whenever you're watching this. And know that I love you. See you soon, maybe.